You are far smarter than you can ever imagine. There is no obstacle that you cannot overcome, no problem that you cannot solve, and no goal that you cannot achieve by applying your mind to your situation. Go on and
What's up?
If you're seeing my ugly face, it means it's one thing. It's 5:30, and it's time for Real Talk Uncensored. I am Kiki, your beautiful co-host that doesn't have a co-host, that's supposed to have a co-host, that has a fill-in co-host today. And we have
Mr. Coleman.
What up, y'all?
How you feeling?
I'm
Victory
cool.
Monday.
So. Got my shirt on, can't see it. Hold on. Show everybody my shirt. It says, for all my cowboy haters, you get the Arthur thumb, the Arthur fist. You get it. You get beat the fuck up. Victory Monday.
Victory Monday. Feels real good.
It do. White man and I were just discussing. And today he's bottle top. Water bottle top. Today.
Water bottle top.
Water. Any white? It's white. So, at what point did you know that this was not going to be a game and it was not going to go in Giants' favor? At what point?
Hello, folks. I think after Barkley left. Well, it started with let's say this. I think they still had a shot with after Barkley left. I think after Jones left, things went really south. So once you got those two, and from that point on, it was like, oh, this game's not even worth watching anymore. So,
says the Ravens fan.
Yeah.
So, from your perspective, when did you know that it was not going to be in favor of the Giants, or did you ever know?
I think when we scored right before halftime, because it was close. Even though Daniel Jones got hurt, they scored the next following play, but. They scored the next following play, but I think right after halftime, that was the momentum killer. I mean, I think our mistakes kept them in the game. We was playing terribly, but we was clearly the better team, easily.
That's one of them things where you like, just win. A lot of those Giant people, they were hurt, and I don't know if they had a lot to do with it, or if we outplayed them.
Yep. What else y'all see around the NFL that was interesting to you?
Missed field goals. Extra points.
My God. That Green Bay game? Oh, fire the kicker.
Dear Dan Bailey.
Lord.
I'm telling you, Bailey is the one. Dear Dan Bailey. You got to call Bailey.
Because he definitely ain't kicking. He holding the football.
Bro, what's really good? You know what I didn't like? I mean, I didn't like the KC...
The Chiefs?
The 100-minute halftime. I mean, it had to be what it had to be, but...
Yeah, that game didn't go... I watched the whole thing. That game didn't go up to 1-something in the morning.
I watched it. I recorded it because I was like, I already know. I'm going to go to sleep. They didn't come out on the field until like 11. So...
Oh, it was because of, lightning, weather.
Inclement. I get it. You think they had anything to do with how Mahomes played, though?
Afterwards, yeah.
I think he was looking terrible before.
I mean, I said this, teams are, it's not Mahomes to stop. It's what they say. And I'm surprised they didn't say this, because the NBC crew, they've seen him for like two the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They've been stopping Hill. They're not, normally it's like, at first with Mahomes, it was like, oh, he's an MVP quarterback, we got to stop him. It's like, no. Like I said, the Buccaneers, the Ravens, and now the Bills, they figured it out. It's like, don't try to stop Mahomes. Stop their really best player. It's Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
And then once you get him, and what they did is like they did the cover 2, like they mentioned, and all that stuff. All they do is a lot of these short dunk passes, and Khalees will get his whatever. But really, it's like
They don't got no defense neither.
yeah, and their defense is
terrible.
hurting. So they really haven't. But the thing, their main advantage is like they try to do things quick, and then they use, and then they slow things down. But when you slow things down for them, it hurts them. And they have to try to do this. Either they catch up or they try to speed it up, and it's not working anymore. So a lot of teams are figuring them out now.
Well, what I find as of late is that Super Bowl teams, their next time out, this is what they end up in. The only team I think for real that for a good long time didn't really go through this was the Cowboys for a good 3 or 4 years. But
In the 90s.
I don't care what it was.
It was the
30
Patriots.
years ago.
The Patriots.
Well, Patriots.
Patriots.
Even Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Well, they do have their hiccups. The thing is like the main thing is
Let's take
once-
y'all for instance.
Huh?
Like you guys, for instance.
like what?
That's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're contenders. Patriots, I think their era of being contenders is almost
Done.
gone.
Yeah.
And Steelers, they're still contenders, but they're slowly fading out. But Cowboys, I mean, they're contenders because they're in a bad division. That's it. So I mean, that's why until I give you guys credit for the game against
persevering.
Yeah, I mean, the game against Tampa was really your biggest test of so far because they're the defending champions, and also you have to see how Dak comes back and all that stuff. For the last 4 weeks or so, they've been kind of like, okay, you've been facing pretty much average or below average teams.
So if we was on the West, if we had the West, the conference like the West, we had that conference, right? Like with Cleveland and all of them. Or
If you're in the AFC,
we would be in trouble.
you'll be in trouble.
Well, we have the whole AFC West this year. We just didn't get to those games yet, and I feel like
Besides San
Vikings
Diego, there is Dallas beat them, but it was close. So you haven't faced Kansas City, Las Vegas. They're kind of now wondering what's going on even after the John Gruden thing, which is I don't know
It's
what.
stupid.
Yeah, 10 years old, and now you're talking about it. And then Denver is finally realizing, like, oh, we're coming off of our mile high happiness. So really, AFC West is like kind of whatever. I think your big game will be against Kansas City and see where they are at that time when you guys face them.
Well, I believe we're gonna win that game. Firstly, I think so. I think probably like goofy games like the Vikings and shit. They're gonna beat us like goofy shit like that.
Yeah, there's trap game.
Of course, put you in the trick bag.
Well, actually, because since you guys are facing the NFC South, you already dealt with Tampa. You already dealt with Carolina. So the only teams you got to deal with the Saints and Falcons. You're going to kill the Falcons regardless. And, shoot, the Jets almost beat them. And then in London, of all places. And then, whatever the Saints feel like they can do something, we'll see.
Well, I like the Bucks game yesterday. I did like that game, and I was very happy. Tom Brady is just doing what he do. I appreciate it. Like in yesterday, who scored 49 points yesterday or 47 points? Who was that? Was that them? No, they scored 45.
That was the Chargers and Browns game.
All these high scoring. Yeah, I just wish. Honestly, I really was hoping. Not that I wanted them to, but I really was thinking that the Redskins was going to win yesterday. Did you know they was gonna
Washington
lose?
team?
The Washington team. The what the fuck?
My dumb ass put money on their asses yesterday. In a parlay, I put money on them and the Eagles. The Eagles took care of business, but they dumb asses didn't. They are who we thought they are. Some shit. Thank God Tone was out of town because he probably would have been cursing at the TV screen.
Oh, and by the way, happy anniversary, Tone and Tasha.
Happy anniversary.
That's why he's not here today. He'll be back on next Monday. Do mark your calendars because October 25th is approaching fast, and October 25th will be our start of the morning show. We will be here from 9 to 11. Fucking y'all mornings up.
Yeah, get your coffee. Get your coffee.
And whatever else you put in it. Whatever else you put in it. You know what I want to talk about?
Damn, get your ass up.
The release of Jalen Smith. I mean, I kind of understand. I kind of understood that. So, can you explain to me? They was talking about it was a contractual injury, something.
It's making sense more now. I think it caught everybody out
holding the bag.
Yeah, well, I feel like it caught everybody off guard, and we're emotionally attached to our players. So when you see one of your guys go, especially in the middle of the season, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But obviously now you know the facts that came out, he's guaranteed more money next year. If he gets hurt this year, he gets guaranteed more money next year. The players that's behind him, like we got a rookie Jabril Cox, and we got a guy we got from Atlanta. Obviously, in practice, they've been showing, and on tape, they've been showing better play than Jalen Smith. So their thoughts was, are we really going to pay this man all this money just to sit on the bench? And by that, and I guarantee it's a mutual decision. He probably was like, well, if y'all going to talk like that, let me go.
Because he's high ranking, so somebody's going to pick him up somewhere.
He with the Packers. He actually he made a statement. He made a statement today. He said that
I didn't check none of that today.
He wished for the release. After they had a conversation and sat down, he wished for a release. He wanted to go somewhere else, and Packers was one of the first teams that called, and he wanted to go there.
Okay.
So,
well, I guess I can't believe that Dallas ain't the dream team, but I guess if you know whatever.
He's still getting paid $7 million by us.
That's going out the door.
Yeah, $7 million's out the door, but I guess it's a lot cheaper than
whatever the rest.
When he was going, the rest he still had $50 million left on his contract.
I just don't.
He got paid before Dak. He got paid before Dak.
He really did. I just don't want them to start getting antsy because once they start cleaning house, Jones don't know how to stop. Once he start, I'm still mourning the loss of Dez Bryant. He caught that fucking ball. I'm still mourning Dez Bryant. I am mourning him.
Y'all missing him on the Ravens? Y'all missing him on the Ravens?
He's like, what?
Was he even there?
I mean, he was good for what he was there for, and I was kind of unfortunate he didn't get to play you guys when
I wanted to see that though.
I did not want to see that.
I did because I think he would. Last year we was garbage. I think he would have showed off, and I would have been happy to see it. I don't give a fuck. We was terrible last year. Very.
He back in our stadium now, buying jerseys and shit, cheerleading for a Trey Diggs jersey. He drama. Love him. Love you, boo. Just he's so dramatic. I want somebody to pick him up though. Excuse me. I would hate to have his story look like Terrell Owens' story. I just would hate that. They still good people. They still got some gas left in the tank. I think somebody should just for old time's sake. Old time's sake. What?
He has to fit somewhere, and he
Ain't
didn't fit for us because he felt like we were on this running attack thing. But we'll see who could pick him up.
He not keep his mouth closed. He just shitted on Kaepernick on the podcast.
Yeah, he did. Shut up, Emo. He did catch that damn
and kissed
ball.
Jerry Jones' ass right after it. Like, come on now, bro.
Do y'all think that if they come back, they have to Terrell Owens couldn't be a tight end? He had to be something else, or if anybody picked theirs up, they would have to be reassigned.
Let's say I think. Let's say this: if between Terrell Owens and Dez Bryant, I would sign Dez Bryant.
Okay.
Because T.O. is going to be as a receiver because T.O.'s personality just does not fit anywhere.
Yo,
what you think?
Yeah, I'll take Dez too. I'll take Chaz Johnson before both of them
as a receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I think it's better talent out there. Anyways, time to move on. Fuck it. Honestly, your window, it can close fast. Especially if you got a lot of shit to say. You kind of question him in the locker room. He had a chance when he was. His chance was with the Saints. That was his biggest chance. Unfortunately, he got hurt. I think.
So to double back the whole John Gruden thing.
Oh
that's
man.
Annoying. I guess I'm assuming that nothing is going to be done. He didn't work for them.
Do you think he a racist?
No.
Do you think John Gruden
got
racist?
racist tendencies?
No. I read the comment and it's like.
Can you?
Let me look it up.
Please.
Because the comment to me it was like a joke, like he said. So it was. Hold on, I want to see.
And then to me, you in the wrong job to be a fucking racist. Like, you in the wrong job.
What did he call his lips? He was
Yo, he call him Michelin tire lips.
yeah, he got Michelin tire lips.
Okay.
Big lip bastard.
Can we see
That's
the
pretty
lips?
much what he said. That big lip bastard.
Can we see the lips? Can we see? Do they look like Michelin? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to.
If a white person said, "Look at you with your little big lip Michelin tire ass,"
They can see. They can see. They can fucking see. Big eyes. If my nose is across my face, you can fucking see. If I look like a monkey, you can fucking see.
So you'll take it as an insult, but you'll separate it from the racist part, right?
He's calling me. If I know him and he calling me what he fucking yes, that's me. I can separate. Shit
separate it?
Because is it a big nose? Are the lips big? Do you drag your knuckles on the? You know what I'm saying? I would. Were you eating chicken? Was there watermelon in your fucking vicinity? Yes, that's me. I can't pinpoint because, like, to me, the words have to match your everyday actions. If you're gonna be a racist, you got to move like one. To me, and don't ask me Tavia, because I know Tavia's like, well, what does a racist move? Like, I don't want you to ask me that, but I'm saying, like, everything has to add up. Like, you don't like black people. You're like Paula Deen. Paula Deen was behind the scenes calling everybody a nigga. Everybody who knew that she was that. So when it came out, she couldn't really say a whole lot because you had said it in front of everybody. The Bama from may he rest in peace. The Bama from the fish market. That's all you ever did was that. You know what I'm saying? And then you did hang out and kiki with us, but because you was getting money. But at the end of the night, you still said this racist shit, and more than one person had an account for it. So to me, the talk matched the walk. I don't know John Gruden. I just know that he been out here for a brick. I just know that he a coach. He was on a team full of black people, and you know his co-host was. Come on, it's just
okay. So
read the stat.
Well, it's not a stigma. Because I'm trying to. They of course take clear it up or whatever. So pretty much, he was going after at the time. Was DeMaurice Smith, who is an executive for the Washington football team right now, and pretty much in the end because he was saying he has a big mouth and all that stuff, so pretty much he called him Michelin lips. And he tried to avoid calling him like rubber lips or whatever, but really it was like, and knowing Gruden's personality, it's like, yeah, it's a joke. I mean, it's like, really?
Lips big.
Yeah, so it's in a funny way.
Black nigger lips.
Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, that's different. So to me, it's like again, everyone is so overly sensitive because now everyone's trying to get rid of Dave Chappelle based off the joke that he said on his special.
How old was this email though?
It was about 6 years.
10 years ago. 10 years ago. 2011.
So I mean,
that's a nigga live.
I mean, really? It's like, this startup, you got to get rid of him 10 years ago?
Now because now he's an executive, now he's going to pull out this card. Like, what's your end game? What are you doing? You doing something. You trying to get a bad man in trouble. For real, for what? You weak. You the weakest link. If you didn't handle that shit back then.
Well, if let's say this, if the way things are now, again, this is his mentality. Think about his mentality. Okay. So if the way things, everyone's so overly sensitive now. If they did it back then 10 years ago, then Gruden wouldn't be where he is.
No, he wouldn't. Either Chappelle wouldn't be. Eddie Murphy, like none of the people would be where they are if it were 10 years ago.
No one can handle. I can understand someone saying, like you said, if you say, hey, you got nigger lips, yeah, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing it. But him saying Michelin lips, I mean, it's like Michelin tires. Come on. I mean, it's just like everyone knows how big those things are. So it's a joke. If you can't take a joke, then what the hell? You shouldn't even have emotions.
You're supposed to jab at people. You're supposed to jab.
I'm too sensitive. My skin is too light for that.
If my grandmother, was if she raised Michelin tires and threw them on her back and got beat by the slave master, yes, by all means, you racist son of a bitch. But if my lips is big as fuck,
I think need to just check. They said it's under investigation. I think if they find extra more insults and stuff like that, then I can start seeing the pattern. I think like right now, you just apologize, keep it moving. My bad, I made a mistake. I was tone deaf. I didn't know he was gonna be censored about it. Keep it moving. But if they find, it's emails. Back then, everybody emailed a lot, so there's always a track record behind emails, and that was sent through an email.
But how do you bring that to my now job? I was not employed by the league. I was not employed by the NFL. I was not employed by this team. What?
He was still a part of underneath the NFL umbrella. 10 years ago, he was.
He wasn't coaching.
Yeah, he was
commentating.
Yeah, at the time he was just commentator. Yeah.
10 years ago, listen, I ain't apologizing for that shit. Only if you make me, because I meant what the fuck I said. I hate that you saw I said it. I hate that. I'm apologizing because you saw it. But I meant what the fuck I said. And to me, I feel like we're normalizing having to apologize for how you feel. And fuck that. The nigga lip, I need to see the nigga lips. Can you pull a picture up of Demoris? Can you?
Yeah, hold on.
Let me see how big the nigga lips is. And then I'm gonna
call him a nigga.
I'm gonna leave it go. I guess,
I mean, at the end of the day, your character can still be held accountable. If you say some shit that's borderline, like I said, it could be a track record. If it is a track record, shit leaks out, be accountable for what the fuck you say, especially throwing a business email.
And so another thing too is, I'm sure the players get worse shit said to them by coaches.
That's him.
That's him.
His lips ain't even big.
To him, they're big.
Fuck out of here. John Gruden.
Maurice Smith.
You're on my list.
You are a silly ass sucker. You brought this email up. Shame on you.
You're on my list.
John Gruden is?
Yep.
Have him. You can have him. What the fuck you
Washington
do?
would love to have him. But
Of course.
Because you
Of
picked the
course.
wrong one.
No, I think he should stand up. I think she should make his. Hey, it was a joke. You took it that way. Boom.
He did.
And it was in poor taste for him to put it in.
I don't even think it was a joke. That motherfucker was he was beefing with him. It was a beef email.
Because mind you, they were both. They were again disagreements, of course, understandable. But again, it's like knowing Gruden, I know even not knowing him personally, just based off of his personality that you see on television, you know full well he's going to be saying something silly.
He's an asshole though. But have you seen him actually coaching the mic'd up? He's actually a fucking asshole.
Well, then all this stuff means something. Then if I'm beefing with you, I'm supposed to make jabs at you. Number one. Number two, I'm supposed to.
Not doing a business email. Not a business email.
That's in poor taste. I just admitted that. That is in poor taste, and it shouldn't have been allowed in that email, and it was 10 years ago. And he should apologize for, like I said, the fact that you saw it. I'm sorry. The fact that I put that in black and white and let that fly off my fax or my typewriter or whatever the fuck we was using back then. I'm sorry, but I meant what the fuck I said.
All right, and what he said. Motherfuckers is questioning it. So if there's some consistency to it, say what you said.
Everybody's soft. Soft as fuck. Sensitive. You talk about how
when
old
this smoke
he is.
Fire. I feel like you feel freely to say some shit like that, and then there's a lot more behind it.
And so what? And
heated argument. That's all it is.
It's not.
It's a heated argument.
It's a business email. You're blaming.
Like you said.
Do y'all even know what the email was about though? He was blaming the man, him, for some shit the owners did. And
that ain't our business, though. That ain't our business, because that ain't even the concern of the email. The concern of the email, I wish it was that. We wouldn't have a leg to stand on, because that's between those two. We're discussing that you're saying you're upset because he let that out. That he said that in heat. So how you beef with people? When you beef with people, if somebody says something to you that about
if it's my employer and I'm talking shit about my employer or somebody on my staff and somehow some way it gets back to them, I gotta eat that shit.
You gonna eat that 11 years later?
If you still employed by them, if you still employed, if I ain't employed, fuck you, I'm gone.
They're gonna find his ass and be done with that, because for real, somebody been digging to find that shit. Why now? Answer that for me. Then I want to answer that.
Because niggas is nosy. Reporters is nosy. All it takes is, guess what just came across my desk, ESPN. Wow, right there.
Because it's money attached with that.
And then there's a story.
It's money attached with that.
And honestly, they're in the business of creating
sometimes, again, mind you, this happened when Gruden was working with the ESPN. So and they have like pulled people off. Like recently, Sage Steele in her comments pulled her off because of the fact is like, oh, we ain't associated with that stuff. And I
can see that.
I have issues with Sage because she sometimes says something so ridiculous. It's like, why do you still have a job?
And they probably try to jump the curve because
it's right here. It's coming right here.
ESPN was the one that leaked the story, so they was probably trying to jump the curve. Like, listen, let's get ahead of this shit.
Front of it.
It's been on. Well, mind you, she did a podcast. Remind you, it was one of those random podcasts she pops up on. But for her to say those statements, mind you, again, at the time, just hearing it, it just felt like, okay, was she getting a jab at President Obama or not? Because it just felt like, in the end, she's like, he can let him do him. I'm going to do me. But the main thing, I think, the main objective of why she's being pulled because she's anti-vax and she doesn't want to be.
I think employees don't understand that you represent your company. So everybody say this freedom of speech shit, but there's consequences to what you speak. So they can go to all these podcasts. As soon as you start talking politics, you start insulting people, do anything. The company has the right to. You're a representation of us.
I agree with that.
So I think
10 years ago, right now he don't work for fucking ESPN right now. No. He doesn't work for them right now. And for real, I believe in my spirit, and y'all can mock me on this, is that he probably gonna get a slap on the fucking wrist and get a fine. They're gonna send his ass on. To make.
Actually, I don't think the NFL is gonna do anything. They will look at this as like, look, this was a joke. Because I don't think they'll see anything else after this.
That's the catch. If they don't say, if they don't see anything else, no other emails, no more insults, they're gonna try to sweep this shit under the rug.
It's between them two and nothing else. They'll just keep it moving. It's like, look, you guys settle it. And mind you, Gruden's been saying, look, I'm sorry, but mind you, it was a joke. In the heat of the moment, that was it. Keep it moving.
And people was insulting Obama and going to work the next day. People was threatening to kill his Bama and going to work the next day. I call you
it's a federal offense.
It's a federal offense. And I call you a tire. I relate your mouth to a tire. You can't tell me what I see when I look at you. People will be surprised at what the fuck I think about them when I see them. Like what in my mind plays in my mind about people, right? It just, to me, you can do all this wild shit. You better not offend a gay person. You better not do none of that shit. But you call my man tire lips. We draw the line at that. Come on, yo. I wish this had happened before Dave Chappelle did his show. Speaking of Dave Chappelle, did you watch it?
Sure did.
Did you watch it?
I had other things to do.
You never watched it?
No, I'm not a big Dave Chappelle fan, except for the show in the early days.
Uh-huh.
Mind you, I know it's been good and all, but I'm just not a fan.
Your take? Were you offended?
No, absolutely not. I feel like he said what a lot of people was thinking. Honestly, I think a lot of his thoughts, the way he articulated his stand up, it gave the message a clearer view of what he was trying to talk about and how he was saying the story of his thoughts, how he's manifesting his thoughts. I think the average human being or the average person that would probably have a regular conversation probably would have been way more ignorant about those thoughts. But he articulated to a way that you can actually argue, like, no, he has a point. You see how he broke it down here? You see what he's getting? There was jokes. Yeah, there was jabs. It was jabs about everybody. Everybody got the jokes.
Everybody.
But he broke it down on why this big ruffle that he's having against he called them the alphabet community. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So he explained his point of view and his side and what he thought was right and what he thought was wrong.
I think what was brilliant was the way that he aligned everything. He gave this, and brought it back around to how shit is today. The way that he made the parallel and the way he mirrored it. Brilliant. If anybody has any comments or they want to share their thoughts on Chappelle's, what's the name of it?
Closure.
The closing or the close. Yeah. Huh? The closer. Call us 240-580-1302. You got a new number? Oh, never mind.
It's we have problem with the actual number, so this
Okay,
is our
so-
alternate number.
240. Let me type it in here. 240-580-1302. If anybody has anything they want to say, good, bad, or indifferent, with regard to Dave Chappelle or anything that the aforementioned topics that we have already come across, please call us. Phone's working today.
I think somebody I'm gonna put he should have went harder.
Emo.
See, but that's the emo. My bad, emo. But I think the thing about it is, if you go harder, the message gets cloudier. You gotta be able to understand. I'm just not talking to my black family right now, or I'm not just talking to my people from this part of the community. He's trying to deliver a message across the board, and I'm trying to deliver a message where the people that are against me or have a beef with me can actually listen to where I'm coming from. Sometimes going hard in the paint, that motherfucker went hard in the paint. I don't know what stand up that y'all
What
saw.
more?
He did something. This is you got to give this man the credit. And Batman posted it, and it makes perfect sense. He had a contract with Netflix. After this stand up, he came out right from the break and said, "This is probably going to be the last time y'all gonna hear from me from a while." People took that and thought, "Oh, he about to say some wild shit. He gonna get canceled, not come back for a while and disappear." No, he has a contract with Netflix.
It's over.
Yeah, he cannot do another
For 4
stand-up
years.
special for 4 years. That's the contract. After he do his collection, he can't do another stand-up special for 4 years. He can still do stand-up, but he can't do it for 4 years. And I feel like he put it all on the table. He set himself up perfectly. I think we got a caller.
We do. Hey, caller. Who this? Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lonnie Young Kiki.
Hi,
I love the show.
Lonnie. What up, though?
What's happening?
Talk
nothing
to me.
Nothing much. Well, I just want to go ahead and throw my little 2 cents in on that. I'm going to go ahead and say it like this. When people get a format and they've been successful and everything else they did, when people get a format, they take advantage of that moment. I'm dead serious. They exploit it, no matter how much you want to call it, what you feel. Whoever it is that have achieved immense success before they got to that platform, they know when they get a chance to get to that plateau again, they're going to put something out there that's going to carry them on to whatever next step they're trying to get to.
Okay.
I believe that man said not necessarily what was on his heart, but it was a calculated, I don't even want to call it a response.
Okay.
It was a calculated action on his point because he had the format, he had the platform, and he had the people watching. And he knew what he said was going to get the attention of everybody, whether it was positive attention or negative attention. What his real MO was, I couldn't tell you. But I will say this. I felt what he said because right now we are at a place where everything is all about attention because whether you live inside the woods or you live in an urban city, everybody is connected some kind of way through social media. So even if you are not on social media yourself, there's somebody in your family or there's a neighbor or there's somebody that you be in contact with that will relay the message of whatever was done on social media to you. And this man knows this because he's achieved immense success. He got to a point in his career where he was just like, I don't want to do this no more. And some people, when you feel like it's time for you to take a break, you quit. You stop what you're doing. But somewhere along the line, you're going to pick that torch back up. But you can't just pick it back up any kind of way. You got to get a platform, and you need to do something to get that popularity or to get the people attention to put your name back inside their mouth. So whether he did this to prove a real accurate point or he did this for the publicity, I don't know. But I will say this, the man knows what it takes to be successful. He did what it took then, and he's doing what it takes now to get his name back inside of people's mouth. So if he's for real about it, kudos to him. If he's not for real about it, still kudos to him because he's doing what everybody else is out here on social media is doing. They doing whatever it is they think they need to do to get their name or to get their business in other people's mouth. be aware, buy into a product, or whatever it is they're trying to do.
I see what you did.
But that's what I think it is.
Thank
It's
you.
a calculated effort by this man or whoever it is that he's working with to get himself back out there. He doesn't need to do it, in my opinion, but he has to reinvent himself or he has to become relevant again. Because a lot of people, where they left off with this man was with the whole Rick James, skin, when they had when Rick James was out. But now Rick James,
from the
God
show.
rest his soul, he dead.
But he's been.
So
but
it's time to do something else.
can I tell you? But I understand what you're saying.
Go ahead.
But he's been in everybody's name. His name has been in everybody's mouth for the last 6 years since he signed the Netflix deal. He's released 4 or 5 stand-ups, and they're all been number 1 on his platform. This just was the end of his contract. It was. I agree with you. It was very calculated. It was calculated
Nicely
because guess what? You can't cancel me no more. I'm at the end of my contract with you. You already paid me my money. I'm going to say what the fuck I got to say, drop the mic, and keep it moving. And guess what? After my 4-year clause of not doing no more stand-ups, y'all going to be begging for me to come back, and I'm going to make another bag. So I think he set himself up perfectly. He was able to do something that no comedian out here. There are people getting canceled right and left, popular, powerful people more than him. He set himself up perfectly where he can say anything the fuck he want and he can keep it moving. He don't even have to worry about getting canceled. There's nothing he's going to get canceled about.
At the end of the, if you listen to what he said at the end, Lonnie, he said, I'll come back. Hopefully when I come back, that everybody will laugh at the same thing and understand that I'm not, laugh at the same thing and not about it or something like that. Like the end of it kind of was a synopsis for the whole thing for me. And it made sense. So hopefully in 4 years, you motherfuckers will get it together and it won't be one team winning. We all will be winning for the same thing. He's dope. Thank you for calling, Lonnie. I see what you did.
no
It was
problem.
nicely
Take it
done. Go somewhere, but don't go nowhere, baby. Batman said he disagrees.
I'm trying to figure out what he disagreed on. Was it a
Call
comment
in,
or
Batman, 240-580-1302. We are discussing the whole Dave Chappelle thing. White man, I would love for you to just take a gander. To me, anybody, any race could be offended. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be. But to me, there was no lie. It wasn't a lie nowhere in there to me. It was smart. He used art. He used comedy to tell what the fuck we are right now as I sit here in front of you.
All right.
And I would implore you to look at it. You know you're not a fan of him.
I've been telling people, everybody that say they not.
Yeah, I mean, mind you, he's not the first and he won't be the last. I just feel like I've listened to comedies like his many times over. And I mean, my thing is when it comes to comedians, especially when they talk about some things that are political, I hear what they're saying. I understand what they're saying, and then, try to get that joke. I think the right people. I'm not the person to be hearing this. It's like you're preaching to the choir. That's pretty much what it is. And I feel like it's like, and those who are offended are the ones who I feel like you're not really hearing it.
No, I agree.
I
he
think
said that.
Yeah.
You're not listening.
You need to see it. You pretty much, you heard something that you didn't like, and then you turned it off and got mad. You went to Black Twitter and go crazy instead of just like, watch the whole thing or rewatch the whole thing, and that way you can understand what's being said. I mean, I think a lot of people, when they figure they want to joke, when they see the comedians and they just want to hear jokes. Yeah. It's just that's all I want to do. I want you to make me laugh, and it's like true. But comedians, especially a lot of comedians of today, they want to not only make you laugh, but educate you.
Yeah. Everything's not goofy,
Right. I think, surprisingly enough, I think Dave Chappelle is the modern day Paul Mooney now.
He said that too.
Yeah. So I think because since he passed away, I think you needed to have Paul Mooney, and I think he's the right person for that. So we have another call.
He channeled it. Hello, caller. Who we talking to? Hello. Oh, they hung up. Please call back.
Please call back. Please call back.
You know, another thing, I think you turned me down, white man. Another thing in here, there we go, is that he was speaking about, no, Lonnie, to address you. I don't think that he needs strategies for marketing. I think when he had that whole fighting argument about the Chappelle show,
The 50 million.
that was enough. When he was like, "Yo," and they came back and said, "Here, we sorry." They pulled it. They pulled this stuff.
When about the contract.
Yes, they pulled this stuff, and he ended up fighting that and got back like that. That was enough to last for at least a couple of years. Somebody call back. Hey, caller, who we talking to? Sorry. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, hello. How you
Hello?
doing? Who this?
This is the Honorable Aaron Green.
Oh,
Good
turn the
morning.
volume up.
Hey, turn the volume
Turn
up.
the volume up.
What up, though?
Absolutely. Yo, guys, I just want to drive home the point that Dave Chappelle was driving home that night,
Please.
and that is, regardless of whom or what, regardless who steps in the spotlight next, whatever movement it is, whoever they cancel out, black people's predicament will never change.
Yep.
That's the point he was trying to get home. Everybody else is important but us.
yes.
We're not important. Like he said, a nigga could get shot in Walmart. Don't
I
mean
was about
nothing.
to
Yo, and Kiki, and this is very important because if you notice, like y'all said, it was very calculated. He used the N-word as much as he could, so when this goes to the media, when this goes in the news, nobody's going to talk about what he said. How many times did he use the word nigga?
Yes.
And nobody says a thing. Nobody
and
has
bitch.
nothing to say about that. So, yeah, he drove home a good point. But remember, and this is very important, because we had a black president who did nothing for black people. Don't expect anything to happen for us, regardless of what happens for the gay people, the LGBT, the trans, whatever you want to call them. They might get what they're looking for, but we'll never get nothing.
That's
And
what
I love him for pointing that out
Yep.
to white America.
Yep. He made so many parallels between this and that. What you better not do, but what you can do and what will slide with us. I thought that was...
So, Kiki, did that hurt you? Did that hurt y'all feelings when he pointed that out?
No, I told you, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant.
I thought
it
it was-
hurt my
it's
feelings
sad.
that it is a fact. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The fact that
Yes.
it's a fact.
That-
yes.
Yeah.
The fact that you just what you just said, he said
Right,
he said a nigga shot somebody and killed them. A rapper shot somebody
In
and
Walmart.
killed them in Walmart.
And nothing happened to his career.
He told somebody to stop sucking dick in the parking lot. Y'all and he got canceled. Which are the least of the two? What is the worst of the two evils? I mean,
Go ahead.
I want to ask you guys this. Do you remember in a previous stand-up he did, I think it was the one before this,
Sticks and stones.
when he said, it's not, he said, well, who is this really offending? And he was like, it's gay white men. Because America never gave a damn about how anybody ever felt. But now you feel like you want to be a white woman. I mean, a woman. You're a man, and you feel like you want to be a woman. All right. Well, let's write some legislation. Let's push this to the forefront. And he was right. He was right. He was 100% right. It's like we have, no matter what happens, no matter how many blacks get shot, no matter how many black women go missing, it means nothing to whatever white America wants to call important now.
Yep.
And right now, it's the transgender. You know, can I say one thing, please?
Yes.
say what you guys say.
I'm gonna get this out.
Come on.
I have no hate toward gay people one way or the other.
Okay.
I'm like everybody else. I got family, friends, blah, blah, blah. The ones I got the problem with
It's the newer.
are them damn transgenders, okay? The ones, yeah, with Bruce Jenner and them niggas, I got a problem with this. If you want to play dress up and all other stuff, do it on your own time. Don't do it on the clock. You're not doing it in the military. You're not getting your own bathroom. Insurance companies ain't paying for you to get your penis put in the small of your back. It's not going to happen. And I don't support it. And nobody else does. So if anyone wants to cancel Dave Chappelle, if they go through with that, then I'm going to start my own movement. Everybody else, we're canceling our memberships too, until you put them back on the damn screen, because you're not going to have that much power.
Because Aaron, you do know that they did write, those producers, that people, they're trying to get that shit snatched off of Netflix right now again.
Yo, Kiki, let me tell you something, and this is embarrassing, but it's true. Back in the 60s, those kind of black people, the Martin Luther King Jr. black people, they wouldn't go for it. They knew how to boycott. They knew how to hurt a business. Mm-hmm. We don't. Yo, Kiki, you know what we need to do? If they're successful at that, you know what? That's when you go to Nike Corporation. Us as black people, we're no longer buying your sneakers.
Yep.
Well, why? Because your boy, you let that happen with Dave Chappelle over there on Netflix. We're going to boycott you, or Newport cigarettes, or Burger King. We could have the same power, but thanks to people like Reese Tibbs and those black people who went to college and worked for the government and think because you got a little job making 6 figures and they let you buy a house in PG County, you gave up on the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents are guilty of that too. My parents did it too. Instead of reaching back and helping, they decided, I'm moving to the suburbs and screw the rest of y'all. That's why we're stuck, Kiki.
And you know what? And Dave did a parallel to that too, when he was saying that I got off the bus and left 50 million on the bus. I did what some people can't do. I talked about the shit and I did it, and I had to eat that just to show y'all that I'm going to support me. You know, people are not going to do that. We are not going to leave money on the table. Like, what? Fuck that. Even people like, I'm not going to go here, but I'm going to kind of go here. The vaccinations, how they mandating, you're going to lose your job. There's people who standing up for that shit. They like, nah, fire me, because fuck that. But it's not enough of us that will do that.
I believe you.
You got a lot to lose.
All right. I don't want to burn up your night. I know you got more callers. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, Aaron.
Appreciate the phone call. Appreciate your thoughts and opinions.
Go somewhere, but don't go nowhere, sir. It's just, it's something. Dave Chappelle is very brilliant.
The part that he said that, I think that was part of the mission. I think another message I got out of that, I actually got like 2 messages that just stuck out with me. One was, it wasn't even when he fully touched on the gay stuff, the trans stuff. It's actually when he was talking about the Susie G cult, the breast cancer. He was talking about the woman rights and stuff like that.
Susan B. Anthony, the feminist.
Yeah, he was calling himself a feminist. He looked up the definition. He called himself a feminist.
Dope.
And he was actually right. And he said, I don't have a problem with what y'all saying. I don't have a problem with what y'all fighting for. It's the way y'all go about it. And I think overall with a lot of things, people have the right and the good intentions to make things better or fight for something better, but the way people do it, it tears down the next person.
Well, we as a movement or as a people, we have the feelings to do a lot of stuff. We feel like we should, and it starts out as a feeling, and then somebody else says, well, let's. And when somebody says, well, let's, and they tell you what it takes to, well, let's, it goes back to a feeling. Nothing ever happens. We boycotted, just think about it, I'm going to take it back. We boycotted Gucci for a day. We go up, all these people, all these, what's his name? The guy with the champagne that is nasty as shit. Cristal and all them people who was saying they don't want nobody black, blah blah blah. Gucci with the monkey on the shirt. We did all that shit for a week. For a week.
I'll be honest with you. It's easy to boycott something that you can't afford. A lot of motherfuckers said, "Fuck Cristal." You wasn't buying that shit from the. That's easy shit. Now, when your local store in your neighborhood do some fish market, do some racist shit,
because they brought out who was supporting the Ku Klux Klan. They started saying, hey, Wendy's them, hey, They hang y'all in the backyard. Man, I need that 2 for 2 though. I need that 4 for 4. When you got 4 for 4?
4 for 4.
They 4 for 4. I need to. That's what I said. A lot of things start with a feeling because it's wrong. We feel it in our spirit. It's wrong. But when people tell, like Batman, a million times over, have set up and say, this is how we can start. And then when you start telling you how I can start, and then you start looking like, well, I can't put that type of work in. I got to be here. I'm obligated to this. I'm obligated to that. Then it goes back to a feeling instead of a movement or a physical act.
But like it correlates. I mean, even with a feeling, sometimes it's just a feeling of restraint. You don't even gotta. I'm sorry to keep hammering this, but it matches up perfect because we can always go to the big giants and we can say the Gucci's and all that. Our local community, we had a racist in our local community, and people had a feeling for a summer. Had a feeling for a summer, want to get drunk in the winter, and want to party during the summer, during the spring, and the next summer.
The drinks are cheap. What do you mean?
All you had to do, you had a million options. All you needed was restraint. You didn't even need to It's no organization or organizing needed to say I'm not shopping there. When we stopped the protesting, I protested myself by not going there. That's all it takes.
Well, when you look at it and say, they dropped the prices on everything. It's the crap. I'm trying to tell you. And it's the neighborhood. They try to justify it. I don't know what's going on over there now that he dead because it's a lost cause. That cause is lost. Like people are just going to do what they're going to do. Yeah. And I think that is our new Negroes. The old Negroes, for real, will sit around here. And I know people who crab. I know about One Shot. Sick with it. Them people crabbed and was selling crabs. Like, yo, I got it. Da da da. They ain't like it. They ain't like it. I need to go.
Party and bullshit. Ain't that what Biggie said? Mm-hmm. Everybody want party and bullshit. But between that, I mean, we're blind to a lot of things. And just to circle back to the Dave Chappelle, which was the Clifford. You remember you talk about Clifford?
Yeah, the big red nigga.
The big red nigga. But it makes so much sense, and that's another thing. And this is how I wish your daughter was here because she tapped on this last time she was here, and she said, "I don't have you'd be surprised. The people that I don't like that are gays are the white gay people." Because they are racist. There's a lot of just because you're gay.
Asking, can you be white and can you be gay and racist?
He asked the crowd that. He's like, just because you you deal with a certain person or you have your sexual preference,
whatever,
does not stop you. You can still be a racist. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so when people try to compare the struggle between one and the other, they're apples and oranges. They're both struggles, but they're apples and oranges. And when he was like, the two black dudes were sitting at the table, and he was like, the trans white woman was like, you don't know our struggle.
My people have struggled for decades.
My people have struggled for decades.
And he like, any one of y'all want to tell us?
Y'all want to tell them what the struggle really is?
The parallel. You see what I'm saying? That's how he made that thing. Brilliant. Kudos, Dave Chappelle.
Said the cops is called. They don't give a fuck who you're fucking. He gonna see black and white.
Clifford, I don't give a fuck.
Which one of y'all are Clifford? Because you're getting shot. Point blank. And it was brilliant. It brings it to the mindset that at the end of the day, you can be as gay as you want to be. You can be as gay as you want to be. You can say you're a minority. You can say you're a minority in the struggle, and you are, until a big black man walk up to a white one person, and you know what, I'm calling the cops. Now we just playing. I don't give a fuck who you fucking. I don't care who you got a relationship with. Now it's a black and white thing. I'm fearing for my life because you about to call the cops. You just tapped into your white card.
He said it as plain as he could say it. You can shoot a nigga in Walmart, but you better not offend a gay person. And it's like, huh?
And you see how I'm saying it?
Yeah.
He said it 10 times more brilliant.
No,
I said
he's brilliant.
He can articulate it better than...
I really sat down when I watched that and I was like, man, I'm jealous. I don't have that. I don't know if I got that. I don't know how long he took to do that. But, bro, that shit, 5 stars. If you can give 10. And for real, he don't got to do nothing else for 4 years, because that right there is before it's time. It's before it's time. So we're going to be going through that for until the next whatever thing he's going to be able to do anyway.
Pretty much.
So if please, ladies and gentlemen, put in the comments if you saying if you for Dave Chappelle or against. If you feel like calling in and tell us 240-580-1302. But let me know if y'all saw it, what y'all think. If y'all feel like it was too much, or was it just enough? Was he justified in what he was saying, or was he just being a dickhead? Like, let me know in the comments.
Somebody had a take on my timeline, and it made me be like, I always like to get a different perspective. And at the end, he was talking about Daphne.
Oh,
it was very sad.
Yeah,
but he said, "Damn, this is literally what he said on my timeline this moment." He said, "Man, I feel what he was saying." But when he went to the Daphne part of it, he was like, that's no different than a white person saying, well, I got that one black friend. I was like, damn, you just kind of like shot the shit down.
Well, and he shouldn't have, because the whole point of him telling that story was to tell you that even at the end of that joke, when he was all fucked up, he said Daphne would have laughed. Like, it was jokes. It was a comedy.
The point is, they turned on it. Like, oh, you with him? Off with your head.
And she stuck up for him and got shitted on. Ended up,
I pulled up the tweet and everything. I pulled up her account right after the show. And
I had to see.
Crazy. They canceled her, and she was trans.
Yeah, and they was like, that's what he was saying. He don't know if she killed herself because of that. But look, he took care of her though. Like, got her kids straight, got this foundation happening for her, and all of this stuff. When you go out on the limb, that girl did what he did. Got off the bus and walked. She got off the bus and walked. She got a whole movement behind her. She made in the shade. She was transgender. She was popular. She was successful at whatever she was doing, except for when she opened for him. But she was successful in what she was doing. She could have done nothing else but sat in the cockpit and just chill. She jumped out, got off the bus and walked, and took up for him and got dragged. He's saying, fuck Twitter, because Twitter ain't no place. It's not a real place.
It's not a real place. Twitter is savage. I've seen the most savage. Like, if you just want to be ignorant for a little while, like, Twitter is the worst of social media. It's like the most gutter part of social media. Like, if you want to troll, you're going to get trolled the hardest. If you want the news, like raw news, like, I'm going to get the news clips, waiting for the news. It's on there. Like, everything is hard, and like, you got to have a thick skin. You got to have a thick skin.
Tiffany says she's for Dave Chappelle. Anybody else for or against Dave Chappelle? Batman, you're quiet. Talk to me. What's good? What's your take?
Mr. Hudson said that Netflix said they are not canceling nothing, and I guess they had a person that was a trans. Said Netflix suspended the trans worker that spoke out against him. I wonder how she spoke out against him, because everybody can have their opinion. I would really love to see how she did. That would be interesting.
If somebody can screenshot that, whoever put that in, stick that in my inbox. Let me see what that is.
But yeah, I had a lot of. How you think the follow up, like the next comedian, like, you think it's gonna be quiet for a little while? Like, I don't want to drop the next special right after this. Let
my nigga
let this shit marinate for a little bit. This nigga just dropped a hot.
Yeah, I think you'll get lost in the shuffle if you don't go harder. If you don't step up and go above and beyond that, or reference that and then push it harder, you're gonna get lost in the sauce.
And I think a lot of comedians are not capable. And I think a lot of comedians going to try.
And it's going to be ratchet and not as organized and not as articulate, not as brilliant as that, I bet. Because you know what? If you really think about it, he didn't even do a whole lot of cussing. And that's when not outside of the bitches and the niggas, outside of that, I'm talking about, like, it wasn't a whole bunch of fuck da 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 da. He used very simple words, very simple phrases, and I'm a fan for that. And I said, oh, okay. He said, or. Loved it. So to me, in my opinion, if someone else was to come out, they would have to. Do you think that he would be successful in trying to exonerate the baby? You think that was success? You think that would be a success? Because they mad at him.
I think I think time is going to have to heal that wound. I think he has talent. I think it's some time going to have to heal that one. I think he kind of helped it, but I mean the way that he used the comparison, he was like, "Yo, the nigga shot in Walmart." I mean that was the only,
and that didn't kill his career, but he came out here. I
think it might ease the press, but I think it was already starting to ease a little bit, but.
You know, some things you got to say in 50 different ways. You know, Daddy always told me the shortest space between two places is a straight line, right? That's how it's always the fastest way to get to another place, right? Some people don't get that. People like to go off on alternate routes, and I think that what he did was he did alternate routes because you ain't getting this shit. Y'all ain't getting that every time a black person, you know, do some shit that a white person did, the black person end up dead or canceled, and y'all be living y'all best life the next day cooking eggs and shit. They didn't get that when he said it straight on, or when he took all these side streets to let you know, hey, as by the way, here's a comparison. Here's the parallel. Since you didn't get that, I think there's no way, unless you just don't want to fucking get it, that you're not gonna get it.
But that's the brilliance in his. I mean, I'm not gonna make this a slurp fest, but I think this is the brilliance. No, I think that's the brilliance.
Did I already do that? Did I slap this nigga down already?
No, he's the GOAT. I think he's the GOAT. But his style,
for the sake of science, we gonna slurp just one time.
I ain't we. I don't know this we thing. But his style, his comedian style, is always to bring something over here to make you be like, oh, I understand that. Well, since you understand that, how the hell can you not understand this? He's been doing that for like the last.
That's what I was saying.
Since I think when he was like Def Comedy Jam and like he was doing the stand-ups before,
the content was kind of
his
different.
content was more funny, goofy.
Yeah.
You know, he still did some jokes to, you know, sprinkle the crack on him when dead on the scene.
But it wasn't thought provoking.
Yeah, but I think he got a little bit more intelligent over this the last couple of specials. He's been more of storytelling and trying to drive a point.
The experiences have been different. Like when you're young and you moving around and you coming behind Richard Pryor and all that stuff, the shit that he had to endure, he tells of it. Yeah. He tells of it. Like that whole thing with his own show and getting dicked for all that money, that was enough. It's the same thing to me. When Tracy Morgan first came out after the whole Walmart thing, he had a grip, hella material. You know what I'm saying? That because of his experience, that moved him to the next level. Like I think right now he don't gotta ever do stand up again. That man, he got that bag. But the experiences was a little different because of what he had to go through. So I think that to me, that's what makes Dave Chappelle stuff dope, because it's true. It ain't just it's entertaining. There's truth in it though. Debate him and tell him that he didn't leave that bag.
Yeah. So
what's wrong with a little slurp? He done bust off twice. Drizzy Drew. Batman.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Oh man. But the cancel culture it's Dave Chappelle is always he goes hard on black people, definitely white people, corporate, gays, whoever, right? But I just think the craziest thing is no one ever said anything about canceling him when he's talking about black people.
No, that's what he said that in Sticks and Stones. He said that about policies and procedures or standards and procedures or whatever, was calling him saying, Dave, you can't say the F word, F-A, you know, the negative derogatory word for homosexuals. You can't say that word. And he was like, he said, wait a minute. He went back and told her, wait a minute. You never said I couldn't say the word nigger, and I say that all up through my comedy. She said, but Dave, you're not gay. He was like, Daphne or Dinah, I'm not a nigger either.
I said, that's what you calling me?
Let me switch gears for the next 5 or 10 minutes, please. I did a post last week. And And I was speaking. I really wanted to wait for Tone to be here, but I'm not. I'm going to just do it because it's only like 10 minutes left, and for real, I think I probably can get some good feedback. But I made a post talking about married men lying, saying that they're not having sex with their wives. Do you know I got at least 25, if not 26, inboxes telling me, telling me their stories. Like, I ain't fucked shawty in a year. Like, don't tell nobody it's me, but find a way to put this on your show so I could let people know, like, married people are not fucking. He said, for real. He said, as soon as I got married to shawty and she popped out my first kid, he said, I pay all the bills in the house. She ain't worked in 12 years. He said, when I come home, she be like, why, what the fuck is wrong with your fingers? When he can't get no ass.
How about no?
He can't get nothing. So I'm asking.
So after all those inboxes, did your stance change from the post that you made?
It did. But I wanted to do it on a platform like this. I could have went back and made another post on that. Facebook is for real. They're not doing me proper. They don't allow me to invite guests, and I really need some feedback on this because I was saying it. I think I was being facetious about it because some married man, I think at some point told me he ain't fucking his wife, and I was like, yeah, fucking right. Like, to me, because this is my reason why I say that, right? So to answer your question, yes and no. My stance, which ain't no man. Why the fuck are you in a house that you ain't getting no ass in, and you paying all the bills, and you da. How? Because to me, I'm leaving. If I'm not cheating on you, my G, I'm leaving. You don't give me no dick and you my husband, I'm leaving.
They say it's cheaper to keep it.
I don't give a fuck. Peace is fucking pricey. I've paid more for my peace than I could ever dare to tell you. I can tell you how I left behind everything. I can tell you how I did that because my peace is pricey. I had to pay for it though. I gotta go.
What happened to that person that's treating you well? They treat you great. They're taking care of the kids. The kids good. Only thing that's fucked up is that they're sexually frustrated.
So why are you sexually frustrated? If I'm offering you, why?
It's time for counseling?
I gotta go. We signed up for this shit. Like, to me, I don't understand why shorty is in that house and why he is allowing her. I don't understand it. I don't understand how he's paying all of it. I don't understand how you paying all the bills in that house. I don't understand how she ain't working and that she can't lay down on her back. I don't know what y'all thing is. And he told me, like, he asked me, his question was, let me go. I gotta calm down. His question to me ended up being, how long should it be before I step out? I was like, yesterday. And it shouldn't even be questioned.
I got a science fair project for you. Because I feel like a lot of people that follow you are a lot more open to you. Since you got all the feedback from the males,
yeah,
make a post asking these females that are not fucking their husbands. They're on here. They gotta be. Because the dudes ain't fucking. Challenge them to a private conversation. I just need some answers on why you're not fucking your husband.
That already is something that I have in place. But like I said, this is what I can speak on because I got the feedback from this one.
Yeah.
I got that one fast. And honestly, I was just like, no way, no fucking way. And I said, and the quote was, the biggest lie ever told is that I do not sleep with I'm not fucking my wife, or I sleep in the basement, blah, blah, blah. And I know people who do that, but I do know that every once in a while, you sneak and go fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I just asked the dude, like, one of my friends, like, he is brilliant. His comments are always articulate and nicely put up. And I was just saying, I said, because I didn't want to be judgmental. Mm-hmm. I said, so if this is not happening in your home and that's not happening in your home, then what's the move? Like, what's the move? You're telling a stranger that this ain't going. He's like, nah, I'm packing up. I'm about to move. Like, I can't do it. And I don't know how you weigh that. I'm not married. I don't know how you weigh that. But I do know that a lot of men feel something when they're admired and they're wanted and they're loved and their woman is attracted to them and she can't wait to get home. And that's what I thought.
I kind of feel like you. I feel like energies should be reciprocated. Like, it should be matching energies. If I make you feel sexy, I make you feel like I do all the right things to you. I make you feel sexy. I make you love yourself even more. I feel like your output will be a lot more stronger. Just like if you do that to me.
Phone line is busy. Somebody on the phone? Tone just text me.
Just like if you do the same.
Tone, sorry to. Hold on. The number change. Let me tell her. Sorry, go ahead.
But I feel like, and if you do the same thing to me, you make me feel like I'm wanted. You think I feel like attractive. Of course, my output is going to be a lot more strong. I think I really can't speak too much on it because I'm not married, but I feel like as far as men and women, as far as communication and trying to sexually arouse each other, we lose in that effort because we don't have a lot of patience, so we don't know what it takes to, spark that man's
Pornhub.
I know that sounds familiar.
Listen, I just told him myself. My phone went blank, yo. On everything. I was like, I just told him myself because I flicked off to text. Oh shoot! I'm embarrassed. Hey caller, this is Kiki. Who is this?
Stop fucking laughing. Y'all know who this is. Fresh back from fucking Jamaica, man. What's happening?
Back. Happy anniversary,
Boys, listen, I got questions and we got to talk about some shit next week. Good God have mercy. But I'm fresh back from Jamaica. I am no longer considering myself light-skinned anymore. I am darker than Kiki. I'm about as dark as Mr. Coleman. God damn it, I got me some color.
Well,
For 3 weeks.
How's it going? Huh?
For 3 weeks.
Who I'm talking to?
Speaking of Mr. Coleman.
Hey, Mr. Coleman, I'm about as dark as you. My back is very dark. Let me tell you here, Steve, although it was fun in the sun,
that's
it
wonderful.
was gorgeous.
I'm glad you enjoyed
Jamaica was
yourself.
Jamaica was everything.
Well, I'm glad.
Everything. Yeah, man. No worries, man.
Well, good.
Yeah.
We missed you here, but we know that what you're doing is celebrating your anniversary, and I'm glad to see that you back and made it safe and all is well. Kiss your wife for
Did you
me.
see the picture? Yeah, I did. Did you see the pictures? Y'all fellas need to step it up. You did some extraordinary shit. The dinner on the beach was amazing, and we'll talk about that another time.
Okey-dokey.
We'll talk about how they treated us and everything they did was beautiful. Man, we stayed in the Royalton, right next to Edenism. I'm mad I didn't get the pass to walk over there, but save that for the next trip.
Hey,
Right
my
now, I'm
club
trying to
members
get
was
through
there.
customs.
My club
I'm trying to
members
get
was
through
over there.
customs and get home, but I just wanted to call in, shout y'all out, let y'all know I'm back. And next week is on, baby.
So you got 3 minutes?
Huh?
You got 3 minutes?
Yeah, I got 3 minutes. What's up?
I got 2 questions for you. I don't know if you've been watching the show. Did you see the Dave Chappelle special?
I watched it. That shit was hilarious. It was
Quick thought.
brilliantly put together. It was brilliantly put together, and people are upset because he only spoke truth. He made comedy out of truth.
Yep.
And now everybody's in, and their panties is in a bunch. What did he say? What do you feel he said was so wrong?
We've been trying to figure that out and dissect that through the whole show. People have been giving their opinions. We both agreed that it was brilliantly done. It was brilliantly done to a point that no matter what your skin color was or who your preference is, you had to see the message or hear the message that he was trying to display.
Question.
Exactly.
Question number 2,
And if you
Tom.
could, huh?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
If you couldn't see that, then there was something wrong. Maybe you need to go back and watch it again and open your mind. Maybe smoke a little ganja and open your mind and listen to what this man is saying. This man is saying is it's okay that we can kill each other in the hood, but if you make any type of remark about that community, you're banned for life. You know what I mean? And we got to stop catering to that community. You know what I mean? Like that. It's just not fair. You know. But,
question number 2. I had a post last week up that said the biggest lie ever told is that married men don't sleep with their wives. That's what we
say that again.
I put a post up last week saying that the biggest lie ever told is that married men don't fuck their wives. The
I'm
biggest
fucking
lie.
the shit out of my wife. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
I'm fucking the shit out of my wife. You know what I mean? I can tell you I'm fucking the shit out of
This
my wife.
dick!
Yes. Listen, Slim, I don't have them problems. You know what I mean?
Do you
I
know
don't know, but I
anybody
can't
that?
speak for some men. I can't speak for some men. Any man that I know of that's married is having sexual relations with wife. Not saying that it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It's possible. You know, it gets to a point in time when you're in a relationship where you just start going through the motions, and you take everything. You're not there no more. You know what I mean? And it becomes, give me that, babe. Give me that. It becomes you're just going through the motions and just I'm here, and you get into a routine every day of just work, kids, sleep, work, kids, sleep, and then you may be having sex once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Shit, once a month, maybe not never. But it happens. You get into them rhythms. And I've been in a relationship where you just got caught up in everything. You got caught up in everything, and it was just like, okay, you know what I mean? And it just doesn't happen. But for me, my marriage, I don't have any problems. No. But hey, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all finish the show. I gotta get moving and get through this customs and get my bag dropped so I can get back to the DMV.
All right,
I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.
All right.
Be safe.
Appreciate you.
So anyway, back to what I was saying. I do know people who, like someone said, have the sex has slowed. The women, 2 reasons, and I'm going to speak for myself. 2 reasons why I stopped having sex in a relationship when I was living with someone. You got a caller? You can put them on. 2 reasons. One reason is because he was cheating on me, and everything in me, I was afraid, I was scared because we were not protected, and I realized like I didn't feel that way about him no more. So I at that moment started to make my stuff and prepare myself to leave. So I purposely wanted him to understand, hey, you can go out here and get that. That's why I was telling the dude in my comments, like, yo, tonight. Hey, caller, who we talking to?
It's Batman.
Hey, Batman, what up, though?
Hey, listen.
You got about 5 minutes, baby. Talk to me.
Hey, one of the reasons why a lot of married couples ain't having sex is because the woman finally got tired of pretending that she really loved him like that. Another reason is that once we get caught up in the routines of things, like the kids, dropping them off to school, making sure dinner is cooked and all that kind of stuff, us as men, we really don't have the desire to kind of romance her like we did in the beginning. And, you know, after a while, if you've been married a minute, you kind of need that romance to kind of light that candle for sex.
So
those are my 2 top reasons.
Your reason definitely correlates with Tone, what Tone was saying. So I think it's safe to say that the challenge, because I've never been married, I don't deal with a lot of married people as far as their problems, because that's their problems. But do you find that the challenge is to not be consistent, not go through the motions, the routine, the challenge to continue to break the routine to keep it spice?
Yeah, it's human nature. You know, once, you know, we take things for granted. We take people for granted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so once you've been involved with somebody for a while, once you've been on a job for 90 days, and you figure out all the little, you know, things you can do to kind of get over, that's what we do in our relationships.
Yep. Because why?
So,
why should I still continue to do this? Because why should I? I know he attracted to me. I know she want me. She married me. She's here. Da, da, da.
So after a while, you don't even really care about, you know, preheating the oven. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of go for it. And after a while, that kind of attractiveness kind of wears thin, you know, between 2 people.
Hey, Batman, you know what's funny?
You got to keep it spicy. Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I lived it to the point where I asked him, let's move out. Let's not live together no more, because to me, the thrill was in getting dressed. The thrill was in putting on something you ain't see in the closet already. The thrill was for me to get up every day and show up as this, because honestly, when we in the house chilling, why most people feel like, why am I gonna? I was raised by a grandmother who told me, you look good every day. If you ain't going nowhere, get up and look good every day. She said, because how you look, it transcends to how you feel. And if you feel this way about you, there's a transference in your mate. Does it make sense to you, Batman?
100%. She was a wise woman.
Yeah.
But then there's the other factor of, you know, once a woman gets married and she get that security like that, she ain't got to pretend that she ain't really feeling you anymore. So she's secure now. The bill's getting paid.
She secured the bag.
She ain't got to act like she feeling you like that no more. That's real. That's real talk right there, Mr. Coleman.
Well,
after a while,
let's flip to the
They ain't
other.
got front no more.
Flip the man side, because it ain't just the women that are doing that. It's men also who feel like, I give you everything. You know what I'm saying? You got everything you need. Why can't I? Why can I not fuck you today? Like, why do I have to? Because you put the onus on the woman, because you run everything, that now the initiation has to be through her. This has to be that, blah, blah, blah. Men do that to women too. You have
I
to
don't think
continue.
men,
You have to
not giving her
continuously
dick because
prove
she-
yourself. No, I mean, you got to prove yourself worthy, so to speak. When you are the person sitting on your hind parts, and the man is furnishing the home and paying the bills and paying the car notes and doing all the blah blah blah, and you have to. There's a need to prove yourself over and over again, and sometimes men will put that on you. They put that on you.
Well, yeah, I believe men should do that. Because I'm old school, Kiki. I believe a man should put that pressure on a woman to perform constantly. Because if you don't, she won't.
That's two-sided. Pause.
Yeah, I said as men, we take things for granted. We get comfortable. We feel like we ain't got to preheat the oven no more. We ain't got to take her out, nice dinner. We ain't got to, put on fresh underwear and keep our fingernails clean and stuff like that.
We fall into the routine.
And we fall into a routine, and we really take each other for granted.
Those are facts. May I ask you a question? What would you do?
Yes.
I mean, would you stay in a situation where you are not receiving sex from your mate years on end?
Yeah, I would stay in it. I would dip out. I would make her aware. Hey, look, Kiki, I've been in that situation, right? When and I was vested at the time, and I said, look, me and you ain't been, handling business, man. If you don't, if it's something that we can't discuss and work out, I'm gonna have to go do my thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was doing my thing anyway. That's the hypocritical, sinful part of it all.
Come on, hypocrite.
She
Come on.
didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I was dipping around, but
Let me shed some light on you for a second. A lot of times when you was already doing your thing, we already know that. And to me, from my point of view, that's what slowed down my situation, because I knew it. And when I knew it stopped for me. He didn't correlate why it stopped, because I didn't ever tell him that I knew he was out here. I just, on my end, I cut it off. And I basically told him, there's the door, do whatever you need to do on the other side of it. Just don't let that shit come back to me. I didn't trust him no more. So that part of me, the attraction, the willingness to be his love slave and get that candy muscle just wasn't in me no more. So anybody can have that shit. I don't want it. That was me.
I feel you. So, Mr. Coleman, before you tie that knot, make sure that she 125% into you, bro.
You're not the first person that ever told me that. Somebody told me she need to be more into you than you are into her.
Those are facts. Batman, thank
That's
you
a
for
fact,
your
bro.
commentary, baby. Appreciate you. Go somewhere, but don't go nowhere.
Appreciate you.
How many minutes we got? We got 2 minutes. Rippies, real quick. Can we remind them when the Rippies are again? I want them to keep it in. I don't want nobody to say I never told you nothing.
Right. The Rippies is taking place December 18th. Doors will open at 6 p.m. at the Garden in Hilton in Washington, D.C.
Oh, we in the city this
yes,
year.
you're in the city. So for all the Real Talk Uncensored fans who want to support Real Talk's possible three-peat, you can come there. And again, tickets will go on sale soon, so we'll give you more information on rippies.com or the Rippies Instagram, or of course Rip Radio Network as well.
Do you know when the voting is going to start?
That will take place very soon as well. So those information is being correlated as we speak. So
Great. and we will keep you people abreast and aware, and a leg and a thigh, as to when those voting processions will start. We got cut off. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining in with us today. Mr. Coleman, thank you for being my sideshow.
No problem.
Mr. White Man, thank you as always for your commentary. White Top.
Bottle top.
Tone be back next week, you guys. We're gonna be back on for one more time at 5:30, and then after that is morning show. So on that note, y'all have a good night. Black Burners Bike Night is the night. Y'all going? Y'all have a good one. Take care. Peace.